And I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for feeling that way, even when you're not together.
Welcome back, family. Today, we will review some more crying divorced women who just cannot seem to understand that the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
What's the one thing you wish everyone around you knew about getting divorced?
Everyone always prepares you that whenever you're going through a divorce, losing your husband or wife, you go through a grieving process, grieving for the loss of your marriage, the loss of your hopes and dreams together. But one thing that they really don't prepare you for is the loss of a friend, the loss of your best friend, the person that you always wanted to tell your day and to tell, your small wins and your small victories. And I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for feeling that way, even when you're not together and haven't been together. Just having that desire to have them as a friend again.
Just another day and another modern woman making an impulse decision to divorce her husband without really thinking about the consequences. I bet that she was convinced that leaving her husband was a good idea by listening to some divorced guru woman on the internet talking about how divorce is wonderful. Most women go to the internet not for learning, but to find someone that will validate the idea that they already had in their mind, because deep down, they know that they are not doing the right thing. Check it out.
You know what I'm really waiting to see? I'm really waiting to see two things. One, a woman actually come up and say, listen, the marriage didn't work because of this right here, like X, Y, and Z. Stop with all the subliminal, with all the blanket statements. Oh, he was abusive. Like, come on, man. How? Oh, he was financially abusive. How? What did he do? Oh, he wouldn't let you spend all the money? Oh, he was mentally abusive. How? Because he wouldn't let you play all these mind games on him. I'm not saying that all these men are just perfect, but what I am saying is, if you're gonna make all these bold claims, you have to have some type of evidence besides how you felt to back it up.
Is there anyone out there in TikTok land that can tell me what you're supposed to do with your life when you've been in a relationship for 20 plus years with the same person? You have children, you have, built a life together, and then all of a sudden that life is no longer. What are you supposed to do with your life? Like, I work, I'm a registered nurse, I have a career, I guess. I have hobbies, I have, I don't know, a house. I have all the things that I guess you need to live the life, but I don't know how. I don't, do you date other people? Do you sort of, I just don't know. I want to focus on myself. I want to be happy. I want to heal from this.
This is a prime example of what happens when you follow social media instead of your husband. Y'all were together for 20 years. I know he didn't file for divorce. I know he did file for divorce. You look well taken care of. So what is it that made you leave? Another thing is, she said, I have all the things that people would think would make you happy. Eventually there is no house that's nice enough for you to be alone. There is no amount of money for you to be alone. A lot of these ladies are ruining their relationships based off of nothing at all. Nothing. And then they run and crawl into the internet looking to garner sympathy. You're not going to get it. Especially in today's time. You're just not going to get it.
This whole process that I've been in. But I also want to live life. I also want to have fun. I don't want it to be all about being miserable and feeling sad and just going through the motions of life because my relationship, my marriage broke down. I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to be happy. I want to move on, and I want to just find joy in life again.
I know that most of you just wanted to jump on your screens when you heard the infamous phrase, I just want to be happy. Trust me too. It's the same story, over and over and over, again and again and again. It's all about me, 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 without even knowing what they really want. But then they get shocked when the ex-husband move on with his life, like in our next clip.
My husband fell in love with my best friend. Now ex-husband, ex-best friend, but they fell in love. It's now been 4 years, and I wanted to share a very important lesson that I learned. The people that are meant to be in your life will be in your life. Nothing will stop them from simply being in your life. If it's so easy for someone to leave, then they were never truly meant to be with you long term anyways.
See, these little sayings, this is another thing that messes women up in the long run. Y'all really love these little sayings that sound good. If he wanted to, he would. Like these little sayings like that, everybody that's meant to be will be there. That's not true. Life is not as black and white as these little sayings that y'all love to recite and regurgitate so much.
Also, I see people begging people to stay in their life. You really want someone in your life that you have to beg for? No, thank you. And if you're really fighting for someone to stay, don't you value and respect yourself enough to just let them go? I know that divorce is really hard, and I know that sitting in the loneliness is really hard, but it's way better than begging and pleading for someone to see your worth and your value. You are worth so much more than that, and I hope you see that. So from one heartbreak to another, I see you and I love you.
It's amazing how these women will always try to play it cool as if they are not jealous, hurt, and bitter when they see their husbands moving on. But you can see the anger and disappointment through her. Just in case you want more affirmation on how her life is miserable, I went through her page, and here is one of her latest video where she admits on how miserable her life really is.
So there are some crucial things that people don't talk about after you go through a divorce. The fact that the quietness and the emptiness in your home when you don't have your spouse or your children is deafening. You have to really get comfortable with being alone, and it's very uncomfortable. You quickly realize that you are now the center stage of all conversation in your friend group because you're now living this wild and fun life because you're no longer attached to anybody. And I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of my time crying and eating pizza and drinking wine in the bathtub. Being single is glamorized in today's society, and people are saying, yes, good for being single, and you should really, really just enjoy it. It's so freeing. When really you lost your purpose because you've been supporting this person for X amount of years and supporting their aspirations and their goals and their dreams and their desires, and you lost yourself along the way. So now it's beautiful. You get to find yourself.
How? I get so sick and tired of women saying this over and over. How do you lose yourself? If you have a man who's taken on the bulk of the responsibility, how is it that y'all consistently lose yourselves? What are you doing that is so detrimental to your mental capacity that you lose yourself? You lost yourself? Is it that you lost yourself, or that you had to stop being the person that you were because now you're married and you had to become somebody else? That's not losing yourself. That's evolving into something better. That's what that is.
But it's hard to sit in that and be like, oh, who the f am I? So maybe be a little bit more gentle on the single people in your life.
All these strong, independent, happy, single, living my best life women you see on the internet have the same sad story behind closed doors. They are all crying, miserable, lonely, depressed, bitter, and angry women.
That's not fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
They want to lead more women astray so that they can all be miserable, because we know that misery loves company. And it's sad that so many young women keep falling for their lies. I have a bonus clip for you that shows the consequences of the government incentivizing women to divorce their husbands.
I do divorces for people that, a woman walks out with $200-300 million. He was an analyst at Goldman Sachs who built a hedge fund and then sold it, and then used his trading algorithm to build it up to $500 million. She was hot and slept with him for a while, and then stopped and started sleeping with other people and playing tennis and having Botox, and she's going to get half. Like, that's incredible. Like, do you know what he had to do to get that? And what she had to, I'll that guy for $200 million. Are you kidding me? Like, that's insane. That's incredible.
Fellas, as long...
Listen, I like this guy. I've seen like a few of his videos. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that the courts will allow a lady just because she was quote unquote there. She didn't help with the business. You know what they should start doing? They should start saying if you want half, you have to prove the amount of money that you want. You have to prove that you helped this man get it. How did you help him get it? You just being a stay-at-home mom and cooking dishes and cleaning the house, that's not worth half of this man's stuff. Because while you were doing that, he was also taking care of you so that you didn't have to go out and work. Women always say, oh, well, we're doing all this unpaid labor. That's not unpaid labor. Your payment is your protection and your foundation and your stability in a relationship. Your payment is that you don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to get up. You don't have to put on clothes, go out there, work for a man that you don't want to work for, or lady that you don't want to work for. You don't have to fight traffic. You get to sit in your house in your pajamas. Being a stay-at-home mom is not that difficult. I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. Every time you ask a lady what makes it so difficult, they always talk about some the mental anguish. The mental anguish of what? Making meatloaf? Making 3 meals a day? Single people do that already, and they still have to go to work. But you who you don't have to go to work, or you have a very easy job because your husband earns the bulk of the money, I'm telling you, man, you could never make a lady happy. And this government system is in cahoots with the women so that they can get all the man's money and just spend it on them. The government knows as long as if we keep giving the ladies money, that means that the money's gonna come back to us anyway. Men don't be out here just buying money, splurging on stupid stuff. We don't. We have to figure this out. Okay, I gotta hold this money. I gotta put a little bit in savings where I need to grow, because in a couple years I'm gonna be 45. So let me put this over here. Let me look to start trading a little bit. This is what responsible men do. The ones that have money. And these women have no problem sitting in a courthouse and lying to the judge's face, talking about how you were such a terrible man, even though y'all were married for forever. You're such a terrible man, and you were so abusive, and he did all this and that, and this is why I deserve half. And then she's gonna get your money and gallivant around talking about how she's so strong and independent and financially free. She's living off of your money. When people get divorced, right? This is another thing that never made any sense to me. They'll say, well, she's accustomed to things. I'm like, well, what about the things that he's accustomed to? And Chris Rock said this. What about the things that he is accustomed to? Only in America, a woman can divorce her husband for no reason, take half of his stuff, and he still has to pay her alimony and take care of her like she is his wife, even though she's a single woman. Only in America will this happen. You will work for 20-something odd years and she gets claims to your retirement. I'm not saying that a woman should leave with nothing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it should fit what she contributed to the relationship with. If he contributed all of these things, his protection, his leadership, his guidance, that is your payment, ma'am. This brings me back to what I always say. Like, women never see the things that men do. They never see the positive things. They only see what men don't do. So even though men have taken care of their wives for decades, even when she gets divorced, she will say, I did all of that unpaid labor, meaning she did all of that and got nothing in return. And then they wonder why men don't want to get married in the States. Because that's it for today's video. I done sat over here and amped myself up. If you want another good video, click this one on your left. If you want a great one, click this on your right, and I will see you in another one.